Top 10 Hardest Bosses in Resident Evil 4 Remake. Bosses are very important figures in the Resident Evil 4 video game. The game's remake is the latest in the Capcom franchise, reimagined with modern gameplay, reworked storyline, and vividly detailed graphics. Bosses are special enemies in Resident Evil 4 that differ in shapes, appearances, and attacks. Mostly, bosses need to be defeated to advance the story, and in this video, we will show the top 10 hardest bosses in Resident Evil 4 Remake and how to defeat them. Curious to know? Stay with me in this video. In 10th place, we have Ramon Salazar. Ramon Salazar appears several times in the plot, but we only face him once, and when it happens, he immediately transforms into his mutant form. This boss could be very difficult to deal with. His attacks deal a lot of damage, and he moves very fast. The boss fight occurs right after the clock tower, leaving you without much ammunition to use on Salazar. However, the fact that you can use 2 golden eggs to kill him without difficulty earns him this ranking. To defeat Ramon Salazar, it is recommended to use the TMP or CQBR, as they are weapons with a high rate of fire. Oh, and most importantly, we must not forget that this boss's weak point is in the eye. Next, we have Lago, the lake monster, in 9th place. This boss is one of the first significant challenges of the game. The encounter with our protagonist, Leon, takes place on the surfaces of a lake. Despite the monster's enormous size, killing it is not a big challenge. The trick here is to take advantage of the unlimited ammunition feature in this stage. Lago immediately appears and gets stuck in a chain connected to Leon's boat. With this, the monster drags him across the entire lake, and at that moment, it is necessary to launch relentless attacks with the harpoons. It is also essential to be careful with the various obstacles that appear along the way. Hitting them will cause you to suffer the consequences of the stunning effect. The secret to defeating this boss is to hit, without hesitation, its mouth every time it jumps from the lake to try to devour you. And in 8th place, believe it or not, we have El Gigante. This enemy becomes familiar due to its frequent presence in the game. The logic is, the larger the enemy, the slower it will move. Using this information to your advantage proves crucial during the battle. The weak point of this boss is undoubtedly the head. After shooting several times at the same point, the giant's hump opens, revealing a worm. You then need to shoot several times at this new element until the Gigante is defeated. In 7th place, we have the Garador boss. The Garador is a blind enemy that appears in 2 moments in the game. Despite debates about whether he is really a boss or not, he is in our top 10 due to his complexity. When challenging this opponent, you need to be careful with the noises and sounds you make. Despite his lack of vision, the boss has excellent hearing, and upon detecting any noise, he immediately attacks. The Garador has a plaga on its back, its only weakness. Hit it with a shotgun or explosives on the back to defeat it. Avoid making noise, approach stealthily, and attack. Take advantage of its staggering to use powerful weapons like Magnum or Sniper Rifle. In 6th place, we have the Two El Jigatis. Yes, this is due to the fact that our enemy is very recurring in the plot, and when he appears accompanied by his twin brother, we have a huge difficulty multiplied. The biggest problem here is the difficulty of killing the 2 monsters before dying. At this point, it's very important to invest in grenades, as only they have the necessary strength to stun a giant. Since you've faced this creature before, don't forget that it jumps from time to time. You need agility to dodge occasionally, so you don't take too much damage during the battle. In 5th place, we have Bitors Mendes. In this duel, the crucial factor is the small combat area. This is because the enemy itself does not present much complexity. Leon will need maximum attention, as at any moment, this boss can transform. The tip here is to use the shotgun and explosives to stun and damage the boss. After completing the first phase, Mendes's trunk will separate and maximum attention will be required, as the boss will become more agile, hanging between the slats of the scenery to approach our main character. At this point, keep dodging and attacking when necessary. Shoot his head with the shotgun and invest in grenades. In 4th place, we have 2 Garadors. In Chapter 10, you will encounter the Garador again. However, this time, he brings along his twin brother. Yes, we will have a battle with 2 Garadors. The difficulty here lies in knowing how to synchronize the attack so that you can escape from the 2 while other characters still plague the scene. These monsters are blind but not deaf, so be very careful not to make noise while getting rid of the supporting characters. The secret here is to have a good aim. Hitting the weak spot exactly behind the back of each one is the key to advancing. In 3rd place, we have the Verdugo, our top 3 boss. Verdugo is one of Salazar's bodyguards. You don't need to kill this enemy to progress in the game, but if you decide to face him to achieve the wave goodbye right-hand trophy accomplishment, you'll face a great challenge. If you choose to enter into battle with this evolved form of creature, which fuses human DNA with insect genes, consider interacting with the environment. This is expected and necessary because the boss has super hard armor covering his body, causing resource worth to increase exponentially if no plan is in place. In the arena, there are several nitrogen cylinders, and thanks to his insect-like body, by throwing the gas flow at him, you can deal more damage when attacking him while he's frozen. Seize the moment and unload your weapons on him. The timing must be perfect. In second place, we have Osman Sadler. The final boss of Resident Evil 4 is Osman Sadler, High Priest of the Los Illuminados cult. His figure is significant in the game, as this boss is responsible for infecting the village of El Pueblo. His final transformation causes a lot of damage to Leon. For this battle, keep in mind the weak point of this character: the eyes. Shoot the boss's eyes scattered throughout his body, located on the legs and other limbs. The important tip here is also to shoot explosive barrels to cause massive damage to the enemy. Finally, we have Jack Krauser in first place. That's right, the hardest character to defeat in our game, and unanimously. Several sources declared Jack Krauser as the hardest boss to defeat in Resident Evil 4. This is due to the fact that the incredible soldier hardly takes any damage from Leon's shots. The secret here lies in the amazing skill the player must have in wielding a knife. However, these skills are for a select few, which makes hand-to-hand combat the biggest challenge of the battle. But be careful, when you least expect it, he will reveal his mutant major version. To cause maximum damage, it is interesting to invest in shotgun shots and automatic weapons in order to inflict the greatest possible damage. Move quickly and dodge the attacks. Here, it is important to use Leon's sharpest survival instincts. By defeating him, you will be defeating the most difficult enemy to defeat in the incredible game Resident Evil 4 Remake. So, did you like our ranking and tips? If so, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and, give that famous like. Leave your top 10 in the comments. See you in the next video and bye-bye.